Are we live? I think we may be live. So hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Battle show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel as well as the Geek Battle YouTube channel. Make sure you smash that subscribe button wherever you are watching. And wow, I'm sure we have some geeky stuff to get into tonight. We may have more join us. We're not quite sure at the moment. But Capelthave, say hello to the people.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles. It's me, Capital Dave, along with Commissar Kane. My geek fact for today, even though there's no one else is competing, it is an honorary tradition, so I will honor it. You know in X-Men 1, where they made fun about the yellow spandex and stuff?
Yes.
In that movie, the leather outfits they wore was actually really cumbersome, that they couldn't really move at all. And there's a clip on YouTube, like back to the backstage scenes, where the actors couldn't even hop over a 3 feet stone, and they were just like trying to get over it heroically as possible, but they just couldn't. I think Hugh Jackman fell and broke something while doing that. So
wow,
yeah, maybe
that's
yellow
crazy.
spandex was the thing.
Okay, but in terms of the look, do you prefer the yellow spandex or do you prefer the leather?
In movies, I prefer the leather.
Yeah, definitely.
It will not look cool.
Like, it'll be like I think Hugh Jackman's costume when he doesn't have the stupid sleeves looks decent in the new movie, but when they were doing the various costumes in like X-Men Days of Future Past and First Class and those ones, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, I forget what all of them were, but yeah, to me they didn't look as cool as they made them look in the original movie.
They had a sort of like a teaser in the X-Men, not X-Men, Wolverine Japan, when they did Wolverine 2, I think. In that one, at the end of the movie. Yeah, at the end of the movie, the Yuriko, I think, that character reveals the yellow suit. And when you see that, I go, oh, that's going to look like crap in film, like when I was watching it. So,
yeah.
in this one, they have a weird reason why they had the sleeves on. They're like for skin protection or something like that. I'm very confused by that because, like, Hugh Jackman.
I don't believe it because we've seen that. That's what they said a few months ago, but now we've seen that he doesn't always have the sleeves on.
It's the weirdest thing. Why it looks terrible? You can see it looks terrible. It's like it's like the 70s when everyone had like shoulder pads. It weirdly looks like that if you look at Hugh Jackman and so on. It's like.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's bring it up. So, Wolverine and Deadpool. That's the wrong way around. It should still come up. Okay, so open image in a new tab. Hopefully, oh my god, it's so tiny. Might find a different one in a minute. Yeah, this is too tiny, too tiny. Well, I'll show you what we've got, just so we've got that point of reference. It's blurry. We can see it though, but yeah, it's weird shoulder pad territory.
I mean, like, they could have, at least, like, if they had, like, the gloves a bit bigger. You'll do arts and crafts, David. What do you think is the best to make that look okay with the sleeves
cut
off?
the sleeves off. Cut the sleeves off, but
they've said why they can't cut the sleeves off.
Why?
Skin cancer.
No, but hang on. I've got to go back. We've seen him without the sleeves. How do they manage that? So wait for it. If you haven't seen it yet, this is gonna. Oh my god! All these images are tiny, right? But a more recent image, and they should have just shown these both at the same time. Is I think there was backlash, and they must have done like 3 months of reshoots just without the sleeves on.
That looks photoshopped.
No, this is a genuine photo. It's genuine photo. It took them.
In the trailer, you can see. In the trailer, there's a clip of him without the sleeves.
The first few months, they only showed him with the sleeves. And maybe they got the feedback and they were like, in reshoots, okay, we need to do something at the end where we lose the sleeves and he looks like they expect.
Yeah. But I think this is like the Henry Cavill mustache. It looks like CGI.
Oh, that would be terrible. Like, I don't know what's worse. Obviously, the mustache was on his face, and so that's kind of distracting. But imagine if the entire movie he's just got fake arms.
The
No, that'd be an
weirdest
upgrade
thing is,
for
like,
fake
I
skin.
knew that Hugh Jackman had like skin cancer in his nose, but I never thought like he had it in his arms or something like that.
Well,
and
if you're susceptible to it, it might be that you just need to cover up as much as possible.
But his face is still up, so like he's gonna get sun anyways.
Well, yeah, but like, okay, so imagine like Deadpool. He's just like, what are you complaining about in his full bodysuit, right? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's getting baked down there. Although there's an interview clip for, I think Josh Brolin is the one who said it. I mean, he worked in the Avengers and also he worked in Deadpool. When he saw in the Avengers that like everyone had like pads in their suits, and that's why like he went up to them and said, "You're not working out at all. These are just pads." But when he did Deadpool, there was no pads. It was just like a literal suit. So he knew that Ryan Reynolds was actually working out and all those muscles were real. He said that on camera in Graham Note for everyone, shaming the Avengers.
Yeah, no, well, like Hugh Jackman is one of the most ripped looking of the superhero actors. But do you remember a few years ago? Oops, let's remove that. Do you remember a few years ago when Hugh Jackman was on WWE?
Oh yeah,
yep. Was that right?
I'm not gonna lie, he looked tiny. Okay, Hugh Jackson. I said Jackman. What's up with this? Jackman. Okay, let's see where he stood next to Dolph Ziggler. He looks like a tiny.
Is that the one where Damian Santo came as Magneto, dressed as Magneto?
Yes. Oh my God! Wow, you remembered that bit, and I've forgotten that. So open image, new tab. I bet this is all of these images. What has Google done? They've like shrunk the internet. So let's see if I can find a slightly better one.
Okay, I can actually explain that. Google started using this proprietary, picture file format called WebP, which compresses all the pictures.
Oh, but sometimes they'll come up bigger. But like literally, all of them are coming up minuscule. Maybe I'm just really unlucky. Like here he is with Zack Ryder, and Hugh Jackman just looks like a child next to him. I know the Wolverine is meant to be short, but look, and then on this one, like that's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler isn't a big guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought Hugh Jackman is like 6'4".
Well, maybe he is. We'll fact check this.
They look big. They're small. They look smaller than they are because the big ones are really big. Because
that is true. In the wrestling world, the biggest people are just like humongously big.
Yeah, because I've met Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler, and they are big. Amazing. They are pretty big. They just look smaller comparison to everything. Did you?
That's the thing with John Cena. That's the thing with John Cena, right? Like I always thought John Cena was short, but then I realized he's 6'1".
Yeah. Also,
I mean that is relatively short for a WWE wrestler. Okay, look, it's low res. Cool. It's low res, but this is going to sum it up. Look at the frame of Dolph Ziggler, and then look this skinny dude that looks like anyone could beat him up, and it's the Wolverine.
He wasn't on the juice, David. That's why he's skinny. Maybe,
could be.
I mean, if you look at like Alexander Skarsgård, I think his name is. You look at him in his Tarzan physiques, and just like after like 6 months after the film, he's like a dad bod belly and skinny as hell. And I thought, like, how do you lose that so fast? Oh wait, steroids. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Why was which one is that? Is that the Pennywise one, Bravo, or the other one?
No, the other one who did Tarzan.
Ah.
God, and their dad is someone famous as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
he was in Thor.
Eric and Thor.
Oh yeah,
Professor Selby and Thor.
Yeah. He was also in Mamma Mia. So how about that? Right now, okay, let's have a look, guys. One of the things which I can say to talk about. You may have seen it, you may not have. Have you seen the trailer for Venom 3?
Yes.
There's a Venom 3.
There's a Venom 3. Yeah. Now I'm going to bring it up, and I'll put our agents of Shield on it, so that we can actually check this out. And obviously, we won't be able to play the audio. I need to figure out how we can actually get around that without it being demonetized instantly. But I don't know what to think of it. I thought Venom 1 was okay. I thought Venom 2 was a little bit worse. Yeah. Venom 3 trailer. But yeah, like, I'll even be able to quote it just because I was like, wow, I don't know when it's out, but Sony were going hard on like promoting this just because it's called Venom: The Last Dance. And there's interesting stuff to discuss about it.
I've heard of it. Like the whole Sony's pushing this hard thing is where have I been if I've not seen it?
Okay, well, the trailer's only just come out, perhaps, and maybe you just missed that they were doing this, that this was a thing. Okay, look, it's got subtitles on, not that you'll be able to see it. So we see Eddie Brock become Venom. Then it cuts, and he says that Venom's people from his planet have found him. So that's obviously setting up the plot. So once again, the third film in the row, this is going to be Venom versus another Venom-looking character that will look exactly the same as him.
Yeah.
Because that's the only idea they can come up with.
And here's the thing, though. Remember Venom 1 where it said, like, that's Riley, and, like, okay, how's Riley? And he's got shit that you haven't seen, and it's just spikes. That's it.
Yeah.
He just does spikes.
Okay, so look, there's these guys that are going to kill him, and then he kills them. And it just looks like standard Venom stuff. I've never quite... Look, he's doing the We Are Venom, and the joke here is that Eddie and Venom can't quite say it in sync, and so Venom keeps jumping ahead. And it's all right, but I thought it was a bit of a rubbish joke. And if that's the best they've got to show on the trailer, it makes me a tiny bit skeptical that this is going to be really good.
It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why they think the humor in this movie is the selling point of the film. Like, I'm not going to see Venom because of the jokes. That wasn't my idea to begin with. I like some of the jokes that they did in like the first one. The second one, I didn't really enjoy the jokes at all.
Yeah. I like the idea. Now, look, okay, here's the big talking point that people have been talking about. Well, look at this, guys. So here we see, I forget the actor's name, but he was in Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
What is that guy called?
He's got superpowers. He's in this one, too.
Yeah. Okay, but because here's the interesting thing, is he was in Doctor Strange, and I don't remember if he was in the previous Venom films. Maybe he was. But if you remember the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, there was a cameo from Venom, from Eddie Brock. And when he got sucked back into his universe, it left a little bit of the symbiote. And as you'll see in a second, there it is. And he captures it. So this is happening in the MCU universe. But the rest of Venom... Yeah, exactly. The rest of Venom is meant to be happening in his own universe. Is this just like the same with what's his name, Birdman in Vulture, turning up at the end of Morbius, where they're just not quite sure how to do the multiverse? Because how can this possibly be that these characters are still in the MCU?
I think Marvel and Sony still haven't worked out a fully good deal for their universe.
Okay, so as far as I know, the original universe model is dead.
The original? I agree.
The multiverse one is like shown, like he's around. But I think, didn't he die to Wanda?
Gosh, I can't remember for certain if Wanda killed him.
Who?
Baron Mordo.
The Doctor. Well, the Doctor Strange character. She killed him. She killed another wizard in another universe, not the one in Doctor Strange universe. The Doctor Strange universe guy is still like, the bill comes due, and he just walks away. That's all we know of him.
So, I really can't remember specifically on that, but either way, he didn't look like he was playing that same character. He looked like he was an army dude. But how was he collecting the Venom piece from the MCU world. You know, who knows?
I mean, like Marvel know that this will. I mean, like this funny I like. This funny I like. I like Mrs. Wong and Venom.
Wait a second. I'm just going to go back on this here. 1 second. Oh, I was going to say, that kind of looked like the same actor that was in one of the Spider-Man films. Like Rhys Ifans or something. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
They do say, like, Andrew Garfield might have a cameo in this. Or
Andrew Garfield does?
Yeah.
I hope so. They need to do something. And so, like...
All I want is the Kraven movie. I want the Venom universe to survive so I can watch Kraven movie. And also I have to say... Also, Dev, I have to say, Venom Web is awesome. You know why? Because it has the iconic line, when you take great responsibility, great power will find you. You can't get that line anywhere except Venom Web, okay? It's like the famous Tommy was so going, I did not hit that. I did not. Oh,
I did not. Okay, watch this, guys, because on the end of this here, they are going to have something which is cool. So there's a horse.
Oh, I'm going to Ghost Rider this host. Like Ghost
Are they going to beat the dead horse?
Well, they probably are. But look, Venom has taken over the horse. That is cool. I like this idea.
Also, David, my friend said, go back to the beginning of the trailer.
Okay.
Because apparently there's something at the beginning of the trailer that makes it even weirder.
Okay, let's check it out. So I think there's just okay, now here it begins properly.
Yeah, this part, happens in the MCU. Him walking away is from the MCU.
Oh, so it might be a flashback to when he arrived in the MCU, because technically the end of Venom 2 was that he got sucked into a portal. Now, if people didn't watch the Spider-Man film just because they watched the Venom films, then it would just be what happened there. So maybe it will show what happened to him in the MCU, and then it will cut back to his own world.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. I mean, if Marvel is a mess, so they're used to it by now.
Marvel is something of a mess, unfortunately. But let's see. But I'm hoping they're going to get back on track, because Deadpool and Wolverine is probably going to be really good. Although technically, it's an X-Men film. You know, they'll bring some MCU into it. But
I mean, they did a wonderful job with X-Men '97. I feel like this is the theory that we discussed, David, is like the Avengers are going to go away and they're just going to do X-Men movies for a while. That might actually happen. But he's like, hey, this is a success. We can ride this dead horse to the end.
Yeah. Quite possibly. I think they need to do something just to kind of get rid of some clutter. Like, are they ever going to bring in the Eternals again? Or are they just like, we've committed to it? Yeah, but like, how do they ignore that there was like 15 extra superheroes that are more powerful than anyone else?
And then there's a finger in the earth. There's literally a finger in the earth.
Okay, so I found out something recently that annoyed me even more about Immortals. One of the actors in Eternals, Don Lee, who played I forgot his name. The one that looks like Wong but isn't Wong.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
He's a really good actor. I watched his movies and he's amazing. And he's not so little in a movie. That pissed me off so much.
I mean, like, if you like most of them, I feel like they're good actors. They're just in a very terrible MCU film.
Like, how do you make a bad movie with... Yeah, Gilgamesh. How do you make a bad movie with him, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek?
What was the... Okay, let me just look at the cast list. I don't know how to pronounce it. Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, he's a really good
he was the best thing in that movie, by far.
Yeah.
He got the right energy. Yeah.
And he was in, I think, Hawkeye on one of them, or he's mentioned in Loki, I think, in one of his shows is in the background, like on a poster in the background.
Okay.
But like
I would
the
say
cast is amazing. The movie was horrible.
I think this is the thing there, but like I think it came out when MCU was thinking like they're gonna create more content for Disney Plus, or there's just like we can't fail because like we just came off of Endgame and we had WandaVision, like we can't fail. We can literally do anything. And she's an Oscar. I think the director recently came up on Oscar or something like that, and they were like, "Oh, you can do it." And this is the weird thing. They get like if you look at early superhero films, I think Ang Lee is the guy who directed Life of Pi and Crouching Tiger, and I think after he won an Oscar for something, they're like, "Okay, direct the Hulk movie. You won an Oscar, you can do it." Although I did enjoy that.
I do kind of like the was it just called Hulk, that one? Yeah, that was Hulk, and then the next one was Incredible Hulk. I do like the movie. I think it was people criticized the fact that it tried to do like comic book transitions between scenes, and I thought that was fun. The thing which I thought was bad about it is that other than him fighting the dogs and then like people shooting tanks at him, you didn't really get him fighting anything meaningful until it was his dad at the end. And then it was a kind of crazy, it didn't really feel like Godzilla fight. And then when they did Incredible Hulk, they went too far the other way and they had like a 40-minute fight at the end.
I mean, the thing with this, like, Ang Lee movies, right? I mean, like, he has done action movies, but, like, he focuses on character drama. And he looked at Hulk and like, oh my god, this is such a tragic character. I'm going to put like a super dramatic film on this. And he did. And I would say people at that 2000 time were not literally looking for education. I mean, like, the cool, plot-driven comic book movies came after, I would say, Batman Begins. That's when after like Iron Man and Batman Begins, when everything, we could do some serious stuff with superhero films and still be cool with it. Hulk came out in a bad time, where like when we know a superhero, we still in the Jim Carrey Riddler era, where like we want to see some goofy fun stuff.
No, like X-Men and Spider-Man had come out by that point.
Yeah.
I mean, like even if you look at Spider-Man, again, I enjoy Spider-Man. I even enjoyed the Hulk, but the thing is, I would say there's so much melodrama, and they were like doing their best to put real acting, storyline, performances other than the superhero stuff. They were treating the superhero stuff as an added bonus. Here's some sprinkled action, just enjoy it, but this is the real dramatic.
What I will say about the first Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire is, even though I thought it got good story, good character, good acting, the only thing that I think really let it down is that for some reason with the Green Goblin and Spider-Man 2 is so fantastic, but in those films they were like, oh, we need to ground things a little bit more, and Green Goblin ended up being like a Power Ranger villain. It was like, thank God when they did No Way Home, they introduced Green Goblin and then they just get rid of his costume in his second scene. And they're like, well, it'll just be Willem Dafoe, because Willem Dafoe is freaking scary as it is. Yeah. I know in the original film, it had to be that you didn't know who he was. But it's like, you don't need to put a mask on Willem Dafoe to make him a scary figure.
See, the one thing I did like about the whole Power Rangers masks thing is that if you look at it carefully, right, the mask itself goes from green to purple. So it looks
green
like
to purple?
Yeah, look carefully at the Green Goblin mask.
Okay.
Was it Spider-Man choking him, so it just like turned purple?
Green Goblin mask.
Like in a cartoon effect.
Wait. Oh, hang on. Spider-Man the movie? What do I need to put in? Oh my god, it's just called Spider-Man. I don't know how to search this because it's coming up with a comic book. Oh, there it is. Okay, but oh no, wait a second, that's no good. Spider-Man movie. Okay. Oh, there's something else I've got to bring up there in a second. Let's mute that because it's going to be loud.
My scariest thing in the Spider-Man, like, I saw that as a kid. I saw the Spider-Man movies as a kid, and my scariest still is the hospital scene in Spider-Man 2 where the arms come to life and kill the room full of doctors. And I still
Yeah,
remember
that was a good scene.
That was scary as shit, man. I was like, fuck, I came for a Spider-Man film, and I was a kid.
Okay, so there's the mask, and it is kind of green around the edges, but does have a lot of purple. Does it go more purple later in the film?
No, just the top is purple, like a hood.
Ah, that's clever. I never paid attention to that before. Okay, let me bring something up here, just because if this this is on Facebook, I don't know if I can get away with playing it. This isn't like an official video, so I think I will. I'm definitely going to get told off. This was the original Green Goblin mask for that same film. And they didn't use it. Look how amazing that is.
I think it would have come out too
I know why they couldn't use it, because it was too scary for the test audiences.
Oh. Those test audiences did us a dirty.
Yeah,
that
but like
is absolutely incredible.
But in the movie, right, when Willem Dafoe turns into the Goblin and kills the scientist, that was also freaking scary. Like, as a kid, that's scary as shit.
Ugh. Yeah. Okay, so guys, now it's been a weird show in as much as like we skipped your introduction entirely, Dev. So we're still on the introductions round, but I think we can. I think we can sort of take that as read. But what I was going to say, is there anything you guys have seen? I saw the Venom trailer. I've seen Doctor Who, and it is terrible. It is just like I'll just say this about Doctor Who. If you guys haven't seen it, they had 2 episodes in a row where the Doctor basically isn't in it. I mean, what are they doing? Why?
Was it like the Blink? Was it like the Blink?
No.
Well, you could say this is what they call a Doctor Light episode, because it is light on featuring the Doctor. And the one from like a week ago, 2 episodes ago, it was just following the companion. This one was a bit like Blink in that it was just following some random person, where just like in Blink, the Doctor just appeared occasionally on a screen. And oh my god, it was trash.
Was it at least entertaining? Was it at least entertaining?
It wasn't entertaining. This was a complete miss. I hated all of the characters in it, literally. But
it is. I feel like it is a common trend to write unlikable characters now. Was it done on purpose or was it not done on purpose? I can't say. Like, even when they didn't, I like in Invincible, I feel like they did it on purpose when they were Amber. Like, I did not like that character at all, and she kept killing around in season 2 still. But like now, I think that relationship is over. But I feel like Amber has become like the character default to most characters sometimes. But recently, X-Men '97 has proved me otherwise. So I'm hopeful, guys. I'm hopeful. Doctor Who might get good anyways.
I don't like it. See, there's a problem within Hollywood and all sorts of things. Like, speaking about the wrestling earlier, it's the same in wrestling now, where too often you end up liking the bad guy characters because no one wants to be like disliked. But often what they end up doing is they'll introduce a character who isn't like Thanos, who, because I watched those films. I was like, Thanos is the man. You know what I mean? I was like, he's a cool character. Loki was a great character and stuff like this. But when they then introduce just like annoying characters who aren't even there to be defeated, and it's like, I don't like this character. That's what they've ended up doing quite a few times. Not just like speaking about the MCU and X-Men or whatever like this, but loads of things. Just what was that one? Shang-Chi with his annoying friend that was just awful throughout. And every single character.
She was great.
I couldn't stand that character. I couldn't stand her. I could not stand her. Right. But then
but she shares your birthday, David.
Does she? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have mixed feelings on that now. What was the guy in the Eternals who then played the Joker? I really didn't like him in the Eternals.
I forgot his name. Like, There's a Michael guy that took over a village.
Yeah, I can't remember, but there are so many characters where they're just kind of like you make me not want to watch it. Again, to use the wrestling term, it would be go away heat, you know.
But even still, Dave, again, I found her funny in Ocean's 11 or 12, whatever they did with Sandra Bullock one. I really enjoyed her in that film. But when she now appears in any animated or Disney-like film, I'm like, this film's gonna be crap, and I just knew it.
Wait, Sandra Bullock in what film?
In Disney or like animated films, if she's in it, I'm like, I know this film's gonna be crap.
Wow. Okay, speaking of Sandra Bullock, just very quickly, you may not have seen this film, but if you haven't, you should. Have you seen the movie Miss Congeniality?
Yep.
I know the trailer.
Oh my god, right. If you haven't seen it, it's such a good film. But then they made a sequel, and after the first 5 minutes, they made Sandra Bullock's character completely unlikable and teamed her with a completely unlikable character. And then for the next hour and a half, it was just two completely unlikable characters on screen. But anyway, I digress.
I'm still going to say the best Sandra Bullock movie was Demolition Man.
What about Speed? What about Speed?
Nope, Demolition Man.
I think I prefer Speed, but Demolition Man is probably a close second.
I think.
Well, actually, I say that I really like the first Miss Congeniality. Sandra Bullock, has done some good stuff.
I'm trying to think. I would have Demolition Man or Speed. Both of them I really like, but I am mysterious about the three seashells, so I'm going to go with Demolition Man.
I've explained that, though. I've explained that. It's weird, but I have explained it.
What was I going to say? I did see the Inside Out 2 trailer.
I saw that. What's your thoughts on that?
Is Awkwafina in it? I feel like one of the voices is Awkwafina. If she's not in it, I have confidence in the movie.
Okay, let's have a look. Inside Out 2. Okay, here's the weird thing about it, because they introduced the idea that, here are the new emotions, anxiety. But we've already seen the parents' emotions. Why don't they have these new emotions?
I think they do. I think the whole story.
I think they grew out of it.
Yeah, I think they do. The parents and everyone still has it, but like the main four emotions are still back in control. I think this film is about these four rogue emotions taking over, and then the old Joy and the gang taking it back as the puberty goes to an end. I think.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. David, I just realized who plays the dad.
Who?
Inside Out 2. Inside Out 1 and 2. Kyle MacLachlan.
Who's that?
Kyle MacLachlan. He's the dad in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Fallout.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Okay, let's have a look here. So the characters we've got. We have joy, sadness, anger, fear, disgust. Was disgust one of the already ones? Or was that?
Yeah.
Okay, then we have anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and anyone else.
Anyway.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, well, there you go.
Awkwafina's not in it. Awkwafina's not in it. The movie will be good.
Yeah. Now all it take is Jai Courtney to be in it just to ruin everything. Okay, guys, is there anything else that you guys have seen?
I saw the trailer for it's coming out the trailer came out yesterday, but the movie's coming out in like 3 months. I'm not sure when they've ever done a trailer this so far ahead of release, but Wolves with an S. WOLFS.
Okay.
Is it the Brad Pitt and
Brad Pitt and George Clooney movie?
They should
Brad
just do another
Pitt.
Ocean.
Is it okay? Let me just ask: is it about werewolves?
No.
Okay. What's it about?
It's about two body disposal people who clean up accidents. Both getting summoned for the same job and fighting over who has to do it, and they get caught up in something bigger, and they have to work together to Get out of it.
Yeah. Okay. That might be good. Like Brad Pitt. Like I was thinking the other day. Like I don't remember the last thing Brad Pitt did.
Bullet Train. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie. That was a good film.
Fun as hell. Like what more? What more?
Also, fun fact for you. In fact, this can be my geek fact of the week. Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt have not worked together for 30 years. Ever since Interview with the Old Vampire. They've only worked together once.
Wow. Do you know, it's a shame when stuff like that happens, but when you think about it, I think until literally like the Marvel films, you'd never get big movie stars really crossing over that much. You get a Tom Cruise movie, you'd get a Brad Pitt movie. They did Ocean's 11, and obviously that was George Clooney and Brad Pitt. But like even like some of the others in it, like Matt Damon wasn't actually a big star in the first one. And you know, it's rare when you look back to the 80s and early noughties. Go on.
Retroactively, there's Stand By Me.
Who's the famous people in Stand By Me?
Everyone is famous in that. But they became famous
they're not super famous though, right?
No, they are.
Well, hang on. Like I know the guy from Sliders is in it. And who else is it? Like Corey Feldman or someone? So Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Jerry O'Connell, Corey Feldman, Kiefer Sutherland. You know, okay, they're not quite Tom Cruise level, but I'll give it to you. They are all people. Literally, everyone there became someone.
Yeah,
I think.
Good point.
I think the 2000s, like animated movies, like had like big stars starring in different roles.
Like what, though?
Like Shark Tale had De Niro, Will Smith.
Shark Tale. How many times are you bringing that up? Okay, I
will bring it up. It's a terrible film, but I like it.
Okay, do you know what always baffled me about the cast of Shark Tale? Why was Martin Scorsese a character?
He was the buddy for Will Smith. He was the eccentric guy.
Okay, but like when you go onto, I'm going to go onto his IMDb here. Martin Scorsese.
Was he the director? Was he the director?
Yeah, he's a director. That's what he's known for. So let's see how many things he's an actor. Previous 39 things. They all got to be cameos though. Yeah, so Killers of the Flower Moon he directed. He was a radio show producer. Let's see what else. Jimmy Kimmel Live, 30 Rock. He played Martin Scorsese. It was so weird. Like in Gangs of New York, which I think he directed, he played wealthy homeowner. So it was so weird to get a famous director just doing a voiceover as an actor.
I think maybe something like I have to do it for my grandkids. They asked me to be in an animated film. I'm gonna be in one. It has Will Smith and De Niro in it. What can I lose?
I mean, yeah, just in terms of director, where is it? I can't even find his director credits. Oh yeah, so previous 71 things. When you go through like Raging Bull and The King of Comedy and what else is big things going by the years? Gangs of New York, Aviator. So
Gangs of New York and then Shark Tale.
I
bizarre inclusion.
I found a tweet about Shark Tale where somebody was saying somebody called the William Dafoe fish the attractive fish.
William Dafoe fish.
Someone admitted they were attracted to the William Dafoe fish from Shark Tale.
Which one?
Wait, wasn't the Willem Dafoe? Was he in Shark Tale? Do you mean Finding Nemo?
Was it one of the fish movies?
Yeah, they like came out at the same time. Finding Nemo, Willem Dafoe.
I'll say this, Dev. Like the actress who voiced the girl fish in this, not Angelina Jolie, the other one, like the lead, the Will Smith ends up with. I always liked that voice. I always found that voice attractive, but I was so it pained me. It came from a fish. But then years later, the actress starred in another animated film, B movie, and she was a human. And I was like, finally, my attraction to it is not weird anymore. and the actress
Cap,
is
Cap,
Renee.
do you remember how we spoke about you like saying things in your head first? Okay, like I missed the beginning of this. Who is this? What fish did you find attractive?
It's in the Shark Tale movie. Not the fish, the voice. The actress who voiced it. I really enjoyed that voice. And
Who did she play?
It was Renee Zegler or Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger.
Oh, yeah. Renee Zellweger.
Okay. I liked her voice so much, but I was hated the fact that it came from a fish. But then years later, she did a movie called B-Movie where she played a human character, and I was like, okay, fine, now I'm happy now.
Okay, no, but even in that movie where she played a human, it's weird because the bee, is trying to sleep with a human woman.
Yeah. and Jerry Seinfeld does not apologize for that.
The bee is played by Jerry Seinfeld.
Capelthave, I'm going to probably blow your mind in a second, because you do not have to worry anymore. Renee Zellweger, it doesn't matter if she played a fish, or it doesn't matter if she played a human in a CGI thing. She was literally in Chicago.
Woo!
So your fancy about Renee Zellweger's voice, it can literally go over to the fact that she played a scantily clad woman in a musical about her dancing and shooting people.
That's a good cover story. I'm willing to accept that.
Okay, fair enough. Wow. Okay, what else have we seen or got to react to?
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it. It's on my list. Acolytes.
The Acolytes, yeah, I've not seen it as yet, but I'm hearing mixed things about it, guys. I don't want to give any spoilers about what happens, but because it's something we can catch up on and then talk about next week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about? What franchise is Acolytes?
Star Wars.
Oh, I didn't even know that's a thing.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, when the Mandalorian came out, it was a big deal. And after that, the series, Boba Fett was marketable-wise is big. But other than that, other Star Wars stuff that they do, I barely noticed that they come out.
To be fair, they had a lot of Star Wars stuff happening all at once. They had the movies, they had the Clone Wars, they had the Clone thing, they had Ahsoka, they had the Baby Yoda show, the Book of Boba Tea.
Wait, Baby Yoda had his own show?
Yeah,
no.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian Cat. Yeah.
Okay.
That was basically the Baby Yoda show.
Yeah.
They can do stuff with Baby Yoda. They got the adventures of Baby Yoda. Just go wild. The people will watch it.
What a mistake that was, in a sense, because they had the entire first season of Mandalorian where they didn't say what the character's name was. And so everyone said, oh, there's Baby Yoda. And then, by the end of season 2 or midway through, they were like,
Grogu.
No, it's
marketing,
Grogu.
Everyone is just saying Baby Yoda, and literally we're not using it. So, who even knows Grogu?
Okay, so there's a line in Baby Yoda where they make fun of that. It's his name's Grogu. I'm not calling him that.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. In that universe, they can make that work. Someone who knew Master Yoda can look at it and go, "Oh, look, it's a Baby Yoda." It's no, his name is Grogu, but he looks like Yoda, so I'm just gonna call him Baby Yoda. You can make it.
The one reference they did was his name is Grogu. Yeah. I'm not gonna call him that. Although one thing I realized about the Star Wars universe, right? They killed off Darth Maul, and they regretted it because he showed up in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's even in Brawlhalla.
Well, but they killed him off, but they said that he wasn't dead, right? Because he was in the animated thing, and then he was in Solo, I believe.
Yeah. He's and in the comics, he's rolling around as a head.
Wow.
Though in the animated show, where the way they introduced him is he was thrown in a garbage dump. And somehow, put metal to his torso and stuff, and he was literally surviving a guy who eats garbage and stuff like that until his sort of brotherish character finds him and brings him back to the Nine Sisters and put robo legs on it.
That sounds like a very familiar Ninja Turtles character, Garbage Man.
He was Garbage Man. He was like running around in the sewer with like a spider legs and stuff like that.
Although something I really enjoyed reading this week was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Return, the comic book, written by Amy Jo Johnson. The original Pink Power Ranger wrote a comic book series.
Wow. And what's the comic?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return.
Okay. That's so weird sometimes when you have like the actors end up. What? I'm typing in Amy Jo Johnson. It comes up Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Amy Winehouse. What is up with this? Right, Amy Jo Johnson. And gosh, you know, everyone fantasized about her when they were young. Right. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Amy Jo Johnson comic. Yeah, so here we have it. Funded in 45 minutes.
Yeah, they had a Kickstarter for it.
Wow, that's amazing. Look at that, funded in 45 minutes. That's good.
It looks like a Barbie movie.
Well, it's just because it's pink. She was the Pink Ranger.
It literally looks
Did you see Power Rangers, Cap?
Poster from an animated Barbie movie.
I think that looks cool.
The animated Barbie movies made a lot of money.
I mean, there was one I saw as a kid. It was I forgot the name of it. It basically saw Friends in the 2000s, and I thought we're gonna make Barbie Friends, and literally they did 2 movies. My Scene, I think. My Scene. It was My Scene Goes to Hollywood, and then My Scene something else. My sister bought it on a DVD. I saw that, and I really liked that one. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Fun fact: there is a X-Men comic book coming out soon called NYX, which is basically the X-Men as friends, the TV show.
Why don't they just do Friends the animated show? Like I want Friends the animated show. They can do it. I don't know why they won't do it.
They don't want to do it because Matt's dead.
Yeah, you don't need to get the original actors to it. You can get voice actors.
Like they still feel wrong doing it though. Although saying that, you know what we're getting? We're getting an animated Married with Children.
Oh my god, I saw that, and I didn't know if it was like, is it a series? Is it a one-off?
It's an animated series.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, about what?
There was a sitcom in probably the very early 90s called Married with Children.
Oh, and, yes.
Yeah. It got like the woman in it, like the mum. She played Leela in Futurama. But
yeah.
But I think like some of the I think Seinfeld could easily be turned into an animated show, and Friends could easily be turned into an animated show, and it would work.
Another thing they announced was King of the Hill coming back.
I wasn't a big fan of King of the Hill.
I was, because it was like a British, like for me, it was like meeting America as America.
Oh wait, hang on. What am I thinking? Oh no, yeah, I am thinking of the right show. I was suddenly thinking of King of Queens, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because like as a British person, it was my first exposure to American Southern states, basically.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, like, was it the same team that did Beavis and Butthead?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it a bit, but I kind of lost interest. But it was at the same time when there'd been The Simpsons for years, and then suddenly I think King of the Hill came next. But then there was suddenly Futurama and Family Guy, and oh my god, there was another one with Eddie Murphy in. But I can't remember what it was. But there was
Eddie Murphy in an animated show.
No, PJs.
PJs, yeah. I don't think it lasted more than 1 or 2 seasons.
That was a claymation, though.
Yeah, but it was they were all the same show where it's like there's a dad that drinks, and you know.
Yeah. See, there was a point where Simpsons got too fantastical for me, and King of the Hill is more realistic.
Okay, when did The Simpsons go too fantastical? Was it? Oh my gosh, I'm going to forget the episodes. But it was about season 10 or 11 where it just had like they went to a magical island and garbage like this. Yeah.
Though I want to say stuff like for me it was way earlier because it was, for example, the Mr. Sparkle thing.
Mr. Sparkles, that's the Homer's famous in Japan thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was when it started going downhill. They'd lost a lot of the good writers. They didn't put as much effort into the animation anymore. It was a real shame.
Also,
go ahead.
Me and a group of friends have been watching Simpsons from the beginning to the end, right? We're on season 25 now. We're just before the when this season finishes, we need to watch the Family Guy episode because that's when the canon it's in the timeline, right?
Yeah.
But apparently, from season 34 onwards, is when the voices go really bad.
From what season 34. What? Season 34. How many seasons of The Simpsons have there been?
They're just on like 37, I think.
Jesus.
Fuck.
Oh my god. Like, I love The Simpsons, but I have not been keeping up with it.
Just if you just Google Marge's voice controversy, they'll show.
I'll look it up, but yeah, I'll have to listen to it off show. Marge Simpson voice controversy. Okay, so yeah, comparison 1987 to 2020. It's been sounding different. Why is Marge's voice so different? Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. I really want to play this, but I didn't. It says a teaser trailer was shared on X by the show's official account. Marge and Homer being locked in a fierce debate over a wedding invite. Simpsons is unwavering, blah, 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 blah. I really want to see this, guys, but I don't know how to...
Meet yourself and listen to it, I guess.
Okay, well, you guys talk about something for a minute, and then I'll come back and give you my thoughts.
Yeah. Cap, so I was reading about the the Grey Lantern. Have you read that?
Lantern?
No, Grey.
Sorry?
Grey
Lantern? I have no idea who that is.
It's basically the lantern that can use everyone's the emotional spectrum all at once.
Oh, I thought that was the White Lanterns, right?
No, it can use white as well. Like, you can use white as well. And it can overload a person, and like they have to team up to fight him.
I am really unhappy the fact that they never used Green Lantern in the movies or like did series with him. There was an animated show that had 2 seasons, I think. It was a 3D animated show. That was amazing. I was like, why aren't they using Green Lantern? He's such a cool character.
Fun fact about that: Razor, you know Razor from the 3D show.
Yeah.
He's in Young Justice.
Yeah, I saw that episode. I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of Young Justice. Like,
why not? What's wrong with it? I loved it.
The reason why I started watching Young Justice is because like Shazam was in it, and I thought he'd be more in it. But like, he's like 2 or 3 episodes where he does make an appearance, and he gets his ass whooped by people. And I go like, why am I watching this? I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah,
but I did see the Razor episode, and I thought that was a good. I mean, like, story wise, I thought that was good because like we did leave on a cliffhanger. Like, what happened to Razor? He just like follows air, and this is like off. But Green Lantern, the emotion spectrum, I feel like is the thing that they're not really tapping into. But I always found that like the space opera and also the anthems that they use to power their rings, like so cool. Why there are no cartoons or like movies?
It's too big. It's too big.
Yeah, but they can do like specific storylines, right? Like in comic books and stuff.
But like if they did segments, people will complain like, why can't you do more? Or like, is this it? Why the effects so bad and stuff? Because they tried to do the closest thing to what you say you want to see. They did in Stargirl.
Star. I have not seen Stargirl. Is it good?
You should really watch it. It's really good.
If you have Okay, here's the thing, Dave. I have another bone to pick with you. You recommended the show with Cody Rhodes, right? I saw that. I was going in expecting like Terminator action, but it ended up being smooth jazz music and kissing. It's like what?
Did you watch all of it?
I watched one episode, and I was like, most of it's like I was
watching. The first
did
episode is bad on purpose.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching? This is like smooth jazz. And it's
Now,
like Joe.
I don't know. I vaguely remember what you're talking about. But what I'll say is, for about a year, Capelthave, you told me to watch a cartoon because it was like the movie The Thing. And then it was absolute trash. Right. It was like in a high school. And there was like a cartoon or some nonsense. I was expecting this like dark anime, and it's like, oh my god, it's like The Thing. And then there was just like a big guy and a talking cat or something. I forget. Right.
It came out in the 2000, David. I saw it as a kid. What you expect?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
But to credit David, like that show has like most of the classic horror movies done in a cartoonish way. There are some scary episodes in this when they did like Revenge of the Body Snatchers and stuff. And the music that they did is pretty cool in that one. And there's also another with, I'm not really sure which movie that they're parodying of, but like there's a druid episode where like a tree goes or something. I was genuinely terrified watching that as a kid. And because of that, if I saw it now, I'd still be terrified.
Yeah. Okay, here's a random thought for you guys. What do you reckon? I think Daleks could destroy Warhammer?
No.
Yeah, definitely.
They would not.
Yeah, well, they would. They'd exterminate them. What defense would Warhammer have?
Well, they basically have like chaos gods. Like people were like becoming gods out of beliefs. And I mean, like something like the Daleks in Warhammer universe, it would be the Necrons. They're basically like the robots who hate every living thing, and when they shoot you, they just disappear. There's like nothing left of you, and you can't even go to hell. So there's stuff in it. But David, like Warhammer has like ships in the size of planets. They exterminate planets if they just want to on a whim.
Yeah, no, but like literally, like the Daleks, they can have like reality bombs and destroy reality.
They have the same thing, just like extremely miniaturized, and just go boom.
Well, exactly. They just roll over it once and just wipe them all out. Okay.
Although the other thing, David, is that like again in Warhammer, the devil is not just just there. He has your phone number, and he's actually trying to break into the universe. Although Doctor Who also had a devil episode, I saw a clip of that.
It did. Now, I'll be completely honest, right? Yeah, according in the comments, it's being said, Cap, that you are categorically wrong.
By who? Dave?
Yes, Dave. Dave was the one that wanted me to say this to you.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, go ahead.
Although I would use this as a phrase to describe Warhammer, it basically like parodied all the stuff of sci-fi has already done. They parodied Star Trek, they parodied Star Wars, they parodied Doctor Who. They're basically characters like the Doctor Who just jumping around in Warhammer. They just do everything as they want.
Have they done Power Rangers?
I think they have a version of Power Rangers too in a Space Marine way. I would say the only thing the word that would describe Warhammer is stupendous. It's just stupendous.
Okay, now, anyway, Dave, I want to ask you, 20,000 what? We didn't clarify. In order for me to have said that to you, Dave offered me 20,000 to bring up that Daleks could destroy Warhammer. But I don't know what the 20,000 was of, so probably like toenails. Anyway, so guys, a couple more things before we'll have to begin to wrap things here. Something slightly different on a video gaming front. I want your opinion on Microsoft reportedly working on a Halo Combat Evolved remaster, but it might even come out on PlayStation.
Wow, Xbox doing the sin of all sins.
Xbox is basically dead, which is crazy.
Oh, wow. Really? Like, it's gone?
No, it's not gone, but Microsoft just have given up on the idea of anything being exclusive on the Xbox.
I mean, it makes sense by a business standpoint. Like, why would you do that?
Why wouldn't you do that? You make it like literally Microsoft over the last 5 years. They bought like Bethesda, they bought Minecraft, they bought all of these things. Where, especially when they bought Minecraft, everyone was like, "I can't believe Minecraft is going to be exclusive to Xbox," and they were like, "No, it's okay. That was everywhere. We'll allow it to still be everywhere." And fair enough. But then Microsoft obviously looked at it, it's like, we're making all of this money from other places. And so now you get all kinds of Microsoft games just on everything. Because didn't they buy Call of Duty within the last year? And they had to say that will be on everything. But now they're even putting like Halo onto PlayStation by the sounds of it.
I always thought this, David. Sharing is caring, and if PlayStation had done that with the Uncharted series to PC, I would have loved them for it.
I'm going to go on a long tangent about this, so this is going to be quite a while. So basically, for a while now, Xbox has been trying to get complete global synergy between all the console brands like Nintendo and Sony, because they've realized that people are not buying new games. They have a backlog of stuff to do. New games are not selling no matter how good they're made. So there's no point in dividing the market share between the three companies. So they've been trying to forge an alliance between the three companies for years now. And Sony does not want that. Nintendo is open to it, but they don't want to share their licenses. They're willing to take, but not willing to give.
Well, do you know what? I don't blame Nintendo. I think Nintendo are like the smartest company in so many ways, dumbest in so many others. But Nintendo have always said like we need to keep the value, whereas like everything else was like doing Game Pass and like whatever the PlayStation version is. Nintendo were like, no, we'll give you some games that are 30 years old from the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy, but we're not giving you our AAA games like day one for free like they do on Xbox. Like and that's why like Nintendo games 5 years like they're still like the biggest selling game often is still Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and that is just an updated version of Mario Kart 8 that was on the Wii U. It's over 10 years old now and they still sell it full price.
Do you know why? The way Nintendo produces games is way different to the way Sony and Xbox do.
Go on, which is?
Sony and Xbox will make games on bulks of like 10,000. So they make like 10,000, 20,000, etc., etc. They'll make more than they sell. But Nintendo are smart. They'll make less than they sell. They won't make any games until they have the order. They will not waste any production. They only make. In fact, they don't even make enough to cover what they sell. They make slightly less than what they sell, so there's scarcity.
It's the sensible way to do this. I'll show you something. I saw this graphic on a group, and I don't think I shared it in our Geek Battle chat. Where the hell is this? I just sent an image. It's not. Oh, why isn't it coming up? Who the hell did I send it to if it wasn't to me? Uh-oh. Right. Well, shit. I can't bring it up. I'll just have to show it to you on the phone, and then I'll talk you through it. So this image here, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. And on the PlayStation one, it shows Final Fantasy 16, also on PC. God of War, also on PC. The Last of Us, also on PC. Horizon, Spider-Man, Uncharted, also on PC, and more. Xbox, it's got Gears 6, also on PC. Indiana Jones, Halo Infinite, Starfield, also on PC. And then in the middle, it's got Nintendo, and it's got Animal Crossing, Kirby, Zelda, Metroid, Mario. And none of them are also on PC.
I think Animal Crossing is on PC, right?
No. Nintendo literally let nothing go across to be on other platforms. Nothing at all.
Is Zelda a Nintendo game?
Yes.
That's why it was not on PC. Okay, shame them for it. I hate them for it. I hate Nintendo.
No, Nintendo to me, like, if I could only have the one system or games from one company, I'd choose the Nintendo, definitely.
But like, why not do it in PC? I'm always like, I mean, like, even in the 2000s when we like most people, when they buy a computer, they're not buying a computer for games, they're buying a computer for other stuff as well. But gaming was an added bonus. That's how we were all doing a computer.
So like Nintendo are also the only smart company in terms of like the hardware. They sometimes flop, but basically, I think after the Nintendo 64 with the GameCube, they were like, when we sell this, we need to make money by selling it. Whereas the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, Sony and Microsoft lost money every single machine they sell because their idea is, well, we'll make a powerful system, it'll beat the competition, we'll lose money on the system, but then make it back on the games. Nintendo were like, no, we're not doing that. So when they introduced the PS3 and the Xbox 360, Nintendo was like, those HD graphics look really expensive. So they repackaged the GameCube and gave a stick with it, called it the Wii, and they made so much money because they were making money on every system, whereas on the PS3 they were losing like maybe $100 every time they sold one. Sony would lose $100 or more.
Because back in like especially Nintendo's ethos is, we don't want the game to be better, we don't want the game to look better or be better, whatever. We want the game's already good. We want to make the console interesting. We want to make the console interesting. So every console will have its own gimmick.
Yeah.
Also, regarding Nintendo and retaining the prices of games because of the scarcity, look at the link I just posted in the StreamYard chat.
Oh, hang on. What is this?
It's a Nintendo game from like 10 years ago.
Okay, well, I'll have to copy the link. Okay. Copy link address. Let's bring it.
£250?
Wait, what game is this?
Fire Emblem. It's like an RPG.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That is crazy. Do you know what? I hate what's happened. Do you know what? Look, this is the this is the shop CEX, which in the like sex, right? CEX though, right? In the UK, it's like it will sell secondhand video games, cameras, DVDs, stuff like this. And it used to be that, oh, it's secondhand, it'll be cheaper than getting it new. Now everything in CEX is just jacked up prices. I don't know if either of you have ever heard of a system called the Evercade. Have you ever heard of it? Okay, do you have one?
No.
Right, well anyway, so the Evercade, let's bring it up here. So this is something that came out in 2020. And look at the price, £90. And when it was brand new, it was £15.
What?
It's just like, yeah, it's gone so crazy with the prices of games nowadays. It's like,
is it like we only sell to rich people? Is that their brand motto? Who's buying it? Who's gonna?
I don't know. Like, I don't quite get the logic of it, but they jack the price up of so many things. Like, let's see if I can find a particular one. This is a particular old game for the Sega Saturn, if you've ever heard of that. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Right. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Yeah. One second. Just check out this price on this website. It's out of stock, but it's £790.
You can buy a PC with that money.
Exactly. Right. God, Dev, you were about to say about Panzer Dragoon.
So my friend has is waiting to sell that, but he keeps avoiding sending it to me because I know how much it's actually worth. Because that price is actually cheap. From the one you see there, it's cheap for that game.
Do you know what? Like, I don't want to ruin your hustle on that. If you go on eBay, I've seen it sell slightly less than that. And I'm going to give you a big tip because I do have a copy of that game, but I have the Japanese copy because it wasn't rare in Japan. And the Japanese copy is like 30 quid, like £30.
Yeah,
what is the name of that game?
Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Is it on PC?
No. You could emulate it, but
there's no point in me getting it for free.
See, that is one of the other game that I've been trying to find is StarCraft 64, the UK version.
Yeah.
Because that's worth about 300.
Oof. Okay, I'm a massive Resident Evil fan, right? And when Resident Evil first came out, I was like, oh my God, this is the best game ever. I need more games like it. And literally, it was like 2 years. Resident Evil 2 came out, and then it was like another year until even Silent Hill came out. But in between, on the Sega Saturn, and I didn't even own a Sega Saturn, there was a game called Deep Fear. And it was like Resident Evil. And now look at the price of it. And the thing I will say about that is I have 2 copies of this game. It is like literally, it is my nest egg for when I get broke. I'll be like, I've got 2 copies of Deep Fear to sell somewhere.
David's literally sitting on his retirement plan.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy to think about. But like, this is what I mean. When I was younger, I don't know if you know what I mean by a car boot sale, but like people would sell like a flea market. I don't know what they might be called if you have them in Sri Lanka, Cap. But people would take their things in their car to a field, set them out on a table, and then you'd buy them secondhand from people directly. And I'd go to these and I'd look for video games, and I'd get all sorts of things. And it'd be like, oh, this is a game that's 6 years old. How much is it? I'll give you 50 pence. But now, if you go to one in the modern age, no one sells their video games because they know that on eBay they can sell them for £100 each. Yeah. It's crazy.
Do you know what? I need to go on.
In Sri Lanka, there's a website where we majorly shop for stuff online. It's called Terrace Arcade. They literally sell hard disk full of games. For this price, you can get this hard disk full of like Assassin's Creed and this stuff.
Yeah.
Just buy this, and I'm like, cool. That's actually a pretty. You get a hard drive, and also you get games. I mean, like that's a pretty good deal.
Okay, so I need to discuss a phenomenon that happened about 4 years ago now, where there's a company called Wata Games. They colluded with a auction company to inflate prices of like retro games. So they were way overpriced. So their grading system way overpriced the games. That's why they everyone go into retro game collecting / reselling, because games were like reselling for crazy amounts.
What I have very vague memories of this. Is this where like someone would say like, I've got a boxed copy of Super Mario 64. It sells for £500,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, it's absolutely insane that these things literally aren't worth that. You know, especially because so many things you can emulate it. You can play Super Mario 64 on the Switch. It's like you don't need to spend this money on a video game.
Oh, just nail the 70s.
It turns out what they were doing, right, is they were putting the games up when they were being graded, right? They were putting this on the website, and they were rebuying it. They're buying it back themselves.
Ah.
To inflate the price.
It's like the housing market. They just like keep upping the price by buying it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll keep rebuying it, so like the price, like sell price, goes up. So they look at the average sell price and they think, "Oh, that's how much it's worth," and they inflate the price and stuff.
I mean, go ahead.
But I also think it's the era. I think like back in the 90s and 80s, where video games were still like you grew out of them. Well, right now, no one grows out of their childhood now. Like everything is with us. They're like, that's the expensive shit now. People like these things more than anything else, so we'll inflate the price on that. It's the need right now, so they're just doing it.
But you know, it's so weird, just because, like you said about these hard drives and that, like that's emulation, and the fact that you can go onto Amazon, or you can like buy devices like fairly officially, which just for emulation, and it's like it is piracy.
Yeah,
you know, it's so weird how they just sort of like at a certain point they're like, we can't beat it. We don't care anymore. We're not even going to fight it anymore, sort of thing. And yet that happens at the same time that someone's like, here's an official copy for £700.
Okay, like, for some reason on like TikTok and Instagram now, there's a push towards feeling the original hardware, using the original hardware. It's why CRTs are worth so much money now, because everybody wants to play on a CRT.
Yeah. I still have a CRT literally behind me, but my green screen's in front of it.
That's cool.
But is it going to be like, so when the quantum computer comes over, like, no, I want to play on the regular processor. That's why I'm buying a Windows PC now.
I mean,
also, what do you guys think of quantum computers and gaming in general? I feel like we have crossed the point where we can make gaming realistic anymore. I feel like we're pretty close, damn, now. So I don't know.
Cap. Let me bring up something.
Right now, we're basically saying the grass is more realistic. That's what we're going for nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the hair; it's more realistic. Like, we run out of stuff that like looks realistic anymore.
Well, you say that, right? Okay, here's the thing. I think, like, if I go back and watch, not Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like with Gollum in, and then I watch The Hobbit with Gollum in, I'm like, oh my god, Gollum looks so much better later on, and yet he seemed mind-blowing the first time round. And when you first saw, like, Jumanji, the original one, it's like, oh my god, those look like monkeys, and they look so bad. And I just remember, when it comes to video games, let's see if I can bring up this if any image is going to come up anything other than absolutely tiny. Okay, this is okay. I remember the game WCW Nitro on the PlayStation 1, and it like advertised that it's got photorealistic graphics, and it was that. So, you know, the very idea, and like the PlayStation 3, like I think some PlayStation 3 stuff still looks pretty good, but we've moved so far beyond it. And like I remember the big thing was like the modern, like, no one really talks about it so much now, but 3-4 years ago when it was PlayStation 5 and that, everyone was like, oh, the ray tracing and the way the lights bounce and stuff like this. They'll come up with new things to do, but it will also be that it's so expensive to actually produce any games that's why something like small, like when Flappy Bird, like 5 years ago, like Sony were making Resistance Fall of Man 3, and it cost probably $100 million to make. And then one guy was like, oh, if you just click your thumb like this over and over again, and that sold more copies than like anything on PlayStation 4.
And if you also look at some of the like, I can still play Grand Theft Auto, like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I'll be fine with it. And I know that's not the high graphics that we're expecting. As a kid, I thought that was like, oh wow, look at that. But like now, I play like Red Dead Redemption 2 and like Witcher, and I was like, okay, I know that's better animation, but I can still play the other one. But the thing, like, I saw Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was like, where else are you gonna go for? Like, in that game alone, you can like increase the quality of grass. Yeah, that's what I was looking for in the game.
Okay, well, I'll tell you something. So one way where they'll be able to improve it is if you have something like whatever that is. Well, I forget what game you just said, right? But say the new Grand Theft Auto comes out and it looks amazing. There'll still be a limit on how big the world can be or how many characters can be on screen at once. They'll be able to improve things like that. Just because, you go ahead.
I think it's not another place where they can involve is like AI NPCs. Right now, we can emulate like ChatGPT stuff on games, like dialogue driven. If you look at AAA games, most of them are dialogue driven, and you can now have like AI just do like whatever you ask, he can answer. They can be really, really good, really people. And no one will get out of the gaming world. That's another story, but it'll be so good. We'll be just like loving it, infinite content.
Cap, I know you were a big Resident Evil, big Leon S. Kennedy guy. Did you ever play Resident Evil 4 Remake?
I have not played the remake.
Right. Well, anyway, I was going to say, like, I'd be interested to know what your thoughts were from the original to how they improved things for the remake.
I did. Even the second one, David, I did not like Leon's face when they did the remake. I liked Claire's face, but I did not like Leon's face. Even in this, I don't like it.
Also, going back to PS3, like wrestling and graphics, Dave, take a look at this picture.
Okay, let's bring it up. Copy link.
Booker T.
Booker T. Oh my god. Okay, let's bring this up. So, Booker T real life. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. TNA Impact. WWE 12. I'll be honest, the best looking one is TNA.
Yeah. Because even back then, TNA was like, the game's really bad, but the graphics are amazing.
Yeah. Oh my, do you know what? He looks better in the PS2 game. Like, this one is better than that.
Mm.
And for Leon's face, I still prefer the face from the animated movies that they did, and also from Resident Evil 6. That game is a good game.
So the one thing we forgot to talk about is they announced the Tomb Raider anime.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to wrap in a minute. I do want to talk about the Terminator anime. But first, if you haven't seen it, look at what they did on the recent WWE game with Baylor's face. She was not happy when she saw that on the trailer.
Oh my god!
It's awful.
God.
Did they put Brock Lesnar back in yet?
Sorry?
Did they put Brock Lesnar back in yet?
He's. I don't think he's playable. Like, they took him out as a playable character, but no, I don't think because they had to leave him in because he was like too much in the game. But they took him out as a playable character. I haven't got the new WWE game, so I don't know specifically.
The thing is, I had it, I finished it, and then sold it, so I don't know either.
You sold it? Do you know what?
Yeah,
I don't think I have sold a video game in 10 years.
No, I constantly sell mine. Like, as soon as I'm done, I sell them all.
Wow. Okay.
I have a question. Why is WWE game characters look bad even though we're living in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War animation? Why is WWE characters look awful?
2K the company blows all their money making the mobile game mode in the game. Because they have a game mode called My Faction, which is basically a mobile game inside a WWE game where you have microtransactions and energy and have to spend money to do stuff.
But you know what? Like, the AEW game has awful graphics. If any of you remember this, well, this came out last year as well.
Yeah.
How does the new UFC game look? I know the recent one is like.
Do you know? Again, I haven't played it.
That's the only one I haven't played because I don't have a PS5. It's PS5 only.
Is it? How about that?
UFC.
Right, anyway, guys, we're going to have to begin to wrap things just because it's going to be extreme improv. But if you have any recommendations for anyone, let us know. Dev, where can the people find you?
They can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my geeky recommendation this week is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Return. The comic book is really good.
Okay, Cap.
You can find me on SWAT Deeds, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And you can watch a short where I take on the infamous bear versus man debate with cartoon memes. Check that out, and there'll be a video about Mufasa later this week. And my recommendation for this week is, check out the audiobooks of Caiaphas Cain, Warhammer 40k. It's basically Blackadder meets Warhammer. So I recommend those books. And David, I do recommend audiobooks to you because, like, I know you're a guy who does things while you watch or listen to them.
Sure.
You just, like, play it and you do your own thing. That's what I've gone through 3 books just by doing that. So I highly recommend it to people like David.
I will have to do that. Thanks for that recommendation, Cap. For me, my name is David Psansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Psansky. But more importantly, check out everything Extreme Improv and Geek Battle, and also check out the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel, since we've been speaking a bunch about gaming stuff in the last few minutes. I've recently had a video on there where I compare all of the references from the Terminator films that exist in the Resident Evil games. And there are so many of them. But anyway, there's about 20 or 30 references to the Terminator films in Resident Evil. But I go over it all on the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel. So anyway, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, live long and prosper. May the force be with you, and boom, we're off the air.
All right.